When is a parent born? When your world changes in a moment? Nani? Or when the moment is celebrated by all? When you start learning again? Or with a new role? Is it your child's first breath? Or is it just a feeling? Parents are born when they fulfill a responsibility.
Your child's umbilical cord blood can provide protection from 80 life-threatening diseases. Keep it safe with Asia's largest stem cell bank. Cord Life. One chance, one choice.
I would like to welcome all of you on behalf of Cord Life in this wonderful Saturday morning. My name is Rakesh and I represent Cord Life here. My association with the Cord Life is more than a decade now. So before I start, I would humbly request all expecting parents who have skipped their breakfast or delaying their breakfast due to this webinar, please go and grab some snacks with water bottle or juices. Please go ahead. We don't want you to be hungry and to be baby, of course. Again, heartiest congratulations to all of you for expecting a beautiful bundle of joy in your family. To introduce Cord Life, which is visible here on the screen. Yes, today's webinar is based on prepare for a normal delivery, but in the meanwhile, I'm going to introduce my company to you. Cord Life is India's premium stem cell bank network. Few of you would be aware and few of you would not be aware of the concept and the company. Just I'll take another 5 minutes to describe about the Cord Life. Now we are into the stem cell banking. Just to know what are stem cells. In the same way, in the same manner, how seed germinate and grow as a plant, then of course their branches differentiation, then fruits and flowers. Those are going to be a part of the plant. In the same manner, stem cells works. During pregnancy, a single stem cells would lead to the formation of a baby. Now, at a time of delivery, umbilical cord and umbilical cord blood, that basically a medical wastage, but we in our biotechnology call this cord blood and cord a Sanjeevani. Why is it so? Because stem cells by which baby has been formed, those stem cells live in this particular cord blood and cord tissue. Now, when we collect those cord blood, we used to process it in our lab is in Calcutta, where we are going to process that particular cord blood and cord tissue. And out of those cord blood and cord tissue, 3 important stem cells which is present going to be extracted. One is hematopoietic, who represent cord blood. One is mesenchymal, who represent liver, bone, cartilage, heart, muscles, nerve. And third one is very unique to Cord Life, patented by Cord Life, is epithelial stem cells. So we are going to collect all these 3 stem cells who are going to help a patient to treat almost more than 100 disorder, whether it is blood cancer and related disorder. Now, just to share a few success stories of Cord Life, you can see on the slide Mr. Ryan. He born with the leukemia. There was no treatment available by any of the sources, by any of the medical alternatives at that time. Then again, their parents planned for another baby sister born, and with the stem cell of that sibling, Ryan has been treated well. Second one is Georgia. Georgia born with the deficiency of cerebral palsy. Fortunately, their parents preserved stem cell of Georgia, and using the stem cell of that own baby, Georgia has been treated well. Again, Justin, you must have heard of neuroblastoma, a deadly disease. Again, their parents are very fortunate to go ahead with the stem cell banking in this particular case, so that they can use that stem cell for the treatment of Justin. So this is the very first transplant of India, Moinam Pal, way back in 2009. where baby born with a deficiency of thalassemia. You know, thalassemia is a kind of disease. Hardly treatments are available. But again, their parents plan for a baby, and by the siblings' cord blood, Moinam Pal has been treated well. These are few of the success stories which we share. This is our lab is in Calcutta. This is our Indian facility. As far as CordLife is concerned, CordLife is Asia's largest stem cell bank network and the oldest in Asia. We are having more than 5.5 lakh trusted parents as our customers. We are internationally acclaimed, certified, and nationally registered company. On global front, we are listed in 2 different stock markets. Now, just to familiar or just to make sure that whatever we are going to process is up to the best of the standards. This is AXP2 technology, which makes sure that whatever cord blood we are going to collect would be processed with best of the outcomes. We are going to extract maximum number of stem cells out of it. This particular technology is been approved by US FDA and worldwide widely used technology, and in India we are the only provider of this technology. Again, we collected 2 things. One is blood, one is cord. So when we talk about the processing of cord, called as cord tissue, we extract mesenchymal stem cells and epithelial stem cells, which we have shown you earlier in the slides. And this particular processing done by the patented technology of CordLife Cell Optima. So this is nothing just about our company and technology, what we prefer to give best of the things to the patients. This is nothing, just a glimpse of CordLife, which is just a 10% of entire concept. So I would like to have a queries on this particular concept. You can note down the queries or write those queries into a question answer session so that I can answer those queries once session is going to be end. To know more about the stem cells, you can contact us or our team, or ideally our team would be in touch with you. They are going to make a call to you so that if you are having a time, just give us a time for a presentation. It would be an obligation free presentation and there is no cost involved in this presentation. So I would request all of you to have at least half an hour to have this presentation. It would be very beneficial for all of you. It's a kind of thing which only happens at the time of delivery. So now that's all from my end. I would request Mrs. Sonali Shiblani, who is internationally certified pregnancy, lactation and child nutrition, to come over here and take over the stage, please. So
thank you.
I would like to welcome Mr. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So thank you for all that lovely information that you have shared with us. I'm sure that the parents will have a lot of questions, and you can put all your questions in the question box. So during this webinar, we are recording the session, so you have been kept on mute, and because of this you can't speak, but that doesn't mean that you can't ask questions, and we are very happy to answer all your questions and queries. So make sure that you put your questions, queries, etc. in the chat box and in the questions box, and we will make sure that we answer all of them before we close the session. So let me get started with the topic for today, which is, I think, something which is important on every parent's mind, and they are very keen to know how they can achieve this particular target as well. All right, so a little very quick introduction about myself. My name is Sonali Shiblani, and Rakesh has already given a short introduction that I'm a pregnancy and postnatal counselor. I have been in this space since the last 17 years. I'm based out of Mumbai, and I have worked with over 40,000 families in this space. So pregnancy is a first love for me. I love sharing information about pregnancy, helping parents, giving them the support required to have the pregnancy, the birth, and the postpartum experience that they want. I'm also a mother. I have 2 kids. Of course, mine are much older, so those stories are a little old. But nevertheless, we would love to make this a conversational tone, and I hope to share some super practical tips with you this morning so that you are well equipped to prepare yourself, your body for a natural, normal delivery. So let's start with what happens, right, in terms of birth. Now, labor and delivery is a few short hours, sometimes 10, 12 hours. For some people, it might be a little longer. It could be 48 hours also. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. But that is your end game. That is your, let's call it your final exam. Now think about yourself when it was your 10th standard or your 12th standard and you were preparing for a final exam. What were you doing at that point of time? You had to prepare. You spent the entire year studying and, organizing yourself and preparing yourself. So it was a preparatory period that you were given, which helped you to achieve your, goal, which was your board exams, which was your final exams. So labor and birth is also, let's call it your board exam, your final exam, and there are a lot of things which will go in terms of preparation. And here are a few that I have listed on the screen. The first is following a healthy diet, regular exercise if it is permitted by your doctors, by your health team, keeping yourself free from myths and misconceptions, making sure that you're relaxed and stress-free. I think one of the golden mantras that I always keep saying is the more relaxed you are, the faster things progress. So a stress-free mind is very, very important. And finally, a very, very supportive medical team. So we'll talk about all of these in a little bit more detail in the next hour or so. And the main idea over here is that look at it as your final exam, look at it as the marathon run. You cannot do it without preparation. So your pregnancy phase, God has given you and me these 9 months to prepare and achieve our labor and delivery in the way that we want it to be. So how does nutrition impact birth? I mean, I'm in my 4th month, I'm eating XYZ. How does it make a difference in the 9th month? The first thing I would say is optimal weight gain. Now, a lot of times what happens is when we eat unnecessary, wrong, empty calories, we gain excessive weight. And this is an example of your pelvis. And your pelvis is the bony structure, which is right. You call it your hips, your vaginal area. Everything is right here. Now, this is the bony structure, and this does not change in size. It does not become bigger, larger, smaller because of your weight gain. However, the mass which is around it, the fat deposits which is around this, can increase if you gain unnecessary weight. Now, your baby has to come through this. Your baby has to pass through this space. And if you gain too much of weight, there's going to be less space for the baby to go through. And therefore, nutrition during your pregnancy can help you gain the right amount of weight, which will ensure that your pelvis doesn't get totally blocked with extra fat. And that makes it easier for the baby to pass through. Now, weight gain also results in pregnancy complications. It's a little connected, right? Because when I gain extra weight, my body has to work overtime, which means the production of the hormones will also change dramatically. And because of this change in the production of hormones, what happens is that the body is not able to regulate those hormones. So women develop gestational diabetes, thyroid, hypertension, all of these issues which are termed as pregnancy complications. One of the reasons why you would end up having a surgical birth is if you have pregnancy complications. And that's just the whole point over here, that the right weight gain is going to ensure in reduced pregnancy complications. Now, the third area is timely labor. I think all of us as women, as parents, we want our baby to come on time. If the baby comes too early, the baby needs the NICU. And then that's so much more stress for the family, it's stressful for the baby, and we really don't want that. We want you to be delivering the baby and going home in those 2-3 days with a healthy, happy baby. So getting your delivery to start only once you finish week 37 becomes extremely essential and important. And therefore, delivery happening anywhere between 37 to 40 weeks is recommended. Now, what happens if you cross 40 weeks? It's called overdue. You've gone overdue from your due date. And this also can be a problem because you're feeling heavy, you find it uncomfortable, you find it difficult to move, your exercise reduces, and also the baby becomes too large. If the baby becomes too large, again coming through the vaginal opening and the birth canal and this pelvis can become a challenge. And last but not the least is the actual labor, the labor management. Now, I can't eat great food one day and say I've got all the health and immunity and the benefits and etc. of the good diet. I have to be a healthy eater long term for at least 6 to 8 months to reap the benefits of a healthy body. And a healthy body, like think about it this way, right? If you are running a temperature, if you have a fever, you have the flu, you are not able to function, you're not able to do a lot of things, you have body ache, you want to lie down all the time, you're lethargic and you're not able to complete all the things that you want to do. The same thing happens with labor. Labor is stressful. Labor makes you do a lot of work. I agree. But how can we ensure that our body is able to cope with that? And that's where good nutrition during pregnancy will help you to help your body to have the right strength to cope with the pain of labor. So it's really, really easy. Okay, it's not rocket science. You don't have to have like special foods and etc. You just need to eat what is made in your home, and you need to balance your meals. I have a simple mantra which I share with all parents, and I call it my 5-finger rule. I always tell my mothers and fathers this, that when you are planning your diet, your main meals, these are your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you should make sure that there are 5 components in each of these meals. Now, what are these 5 components? The first is your carbohydrates. Make sure you choose healthy carbs. Try not to take the ones with empty calories like white rice and maida, because carbohydrates, when they are unrefined grains, carry iron, B group vitamins, proteins, fiber. There's a lot that is there in those carbs as well. So choose different grains, choose a lot of multigrains for yourself. So that is going to help you to ensure that you are having a healthy, balanced diet. And what does this mean? If you are in Mumbai, Maharashtra, for example, आप नाचनी ले सकते हैं, आप जवर बाजरा की रोटी ले सकते हैं. If you are in South India, you can take your idli, dosa, upmas, pisi belly bhat. So ये सारी चीजें आप अपने डाइट में इंक्लूड कर सकते हैं. आपको अपनी डाइट, you don't need to change your diet just because आप कहीं और से किसी ने बोला है कि ब्रोकली खाना जरूरी है या avocado खाना जरूरी है. We don't have to do that. We have to eat from our own cuisine only, but उसमें ही आपको healthy carbs choose करने हैं, right? अगर आप समझो नॉर्थ इंडिया से हैं और आपके यहाँ पे पराठे वगैरह चलते हैं, तो आप वो चीजें ज्यादा कंज्यूम करिए, लेकिन यू मेक इट विथ मल्टीग्रेन्स. आप अलग अलग ग्रेन्स का प्रयोग करिए, अलग अलग ग्रेन्स को यूज करिए. दैट विल बी वेरी हेल्पफुल. सो डोंट स्टिक टू ओनली व्हीट रोटी. Try to make bakris with jawar, bajra, nachni. You can have rice rotis, you can have brown rice, you can have oats. So बहुत सारे options है. जो सेकंड चीज आपको डालनी है वो होते हैं आपके फ्रूट्स एंड वेजिटेबल्स. अब इसमें सिंपल रूल्स हैं. बहुत अलग अलग कलर्स कंज्यूम करिए. सीजनल, ऐसा नहीं है कि अभी मैंगोज का सीजन है तो हम मैंगोज नहीं खा रहे. वी कैन ईट मैंगोज नाउ. बट अगर ये नवंबर दिसंबर होता तो आप मैंगोज नहीं खाते, बिकॉज दैट इज नॉट द मैंगो सीजन. सो ईट सीजनल, ईट मल्टी कलर्स एंड एंश्योर दैट यू आर ईटिंग फ्रेश, राइट? तो उसको आप फ्रेश काट कर फ्रेश कंज्यूम करना becomes extremely essential. The next thing is your proteins, and proteins को we call it, हम लोग as counselors जो nutrition की बातें करते हैं, we call it the building block of cells. And आपका बेबी जब कंसीव होता है तो एक सिंगल सा सेल होता है, उसको हम मल्टीप्लाई करते हैं और उसका जो ग्रोथ है वो मल्टीपल ट्रिलियंस ऑफ सेल्स बन जाता है. तो जब बेबी 7th 8th और 9th मंथ में वेट गेन कर रहा है ताकि बेबी की वेट सही हो, इसीलिए यू नीड योर प्रोटीन फूड्स। अगर बेबी की वेट सही नहीं है तो ये डिलीवरी जल्दी होने के चांसेस हैं। अगर बेबी की वेट कमजोर है, if the baby is low on weight, then again it is possible कि उसको लेबर में बेबी को तकलीफ होगी, fetal distress बताया जाएगा and you will end up with a surgical birth. So baby weight is dependent on all the foods but maximum on protein. So make sure कि आप जब भी खाना खाते हैं, breakfast, lunch and dinner, कोई ना कोई protein item, whether it is dal, whether it is chicken, eggs, nuts, seeds, sprouts, paneer, you should include these in your diet. लास्ट आइटम यहाँ पर जो है, जो चौथी फिंगर है, लास्ट नहीं एक और है बट लेकिन चौथी फिंगर जो है वो होती है कैल्शियम की। तो इसमें आपकी दूध, दही, चीज, पनीर ये सब भी आ जाता है। एंड आपके बेबी की बोन्स बन रहे हैं, आपकी बेबी का स्केलेटन बन रहा है, सो यू नीड दिस एंड इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर योर ओन हेल्थ एज वेल। कैल्शियम एक ऐसी चीज है जिससे आपकी इम्यूनिटी भी बढ़ती है, सो इट इज इम्पोर्टेंट कि आप अपनी कैल्शियम रिक्वायरमेंट्स को जरूर कंप्लीट करें। एंड जो लास्ट छोटी सी चीज है वो होते हैं फैट्स, ऑयल्स। इस पे आप हेल्दी फैट्स चूज करें। मेक श्योर दैट यू डोंट गेट इन्वॉल्व विद हैविंग टू मच ऑफ फ्राइड फूड्स, दैट इज गोइंग टू गिव यू अननेसेसरी फैट गेन। सो हैव हेल्दी फैट्स but have little. You don't need too much. About 6 teaspoons in 24 hours is what is required. कुछ और चीजें होती है which is very important as far as your normal delivery is concerned. The first is water. बड़ी आसान सी चीज है but I think everybody must be wondering, really? Water? That's going to help me have a normal delivery? Let me explain to you what happens, right? We've all heard, हमने सबने सुना है that the baby lives in a bag of waters. इसको हम बुलाते हैं, we call it the amniotic sac, and जो water है we call it the amniotic fluid. अब इसका क्या महत्व है? प्रेगनेंसी के दौरान ये जो amniotic fluid है, it doesn't remain constant. ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं प्रेग्नेंट हुई and मेरे यूट्रस में amniotic fluid has gotten filled and it remains the same. It is not like that. It constantly gets flushed out and it's constantly getting replaced. So it's like a constant flushing system which is happening and a refilling system which is happening. So think about it like this कि यहाँ पे drain है और यहाँ पे tap है और यहाँ से निकल रहा है और यहाँ से भर रहा है, so level remains constant. अब जो निकलने का process है, that's going to remain, right? That's part of your physiology. It's going to happen. But the filling comes for 2 reasons. One is hormones. And the 2 is your water intake, how much water you are drinking every day. So you have to consume adequate water to ensure कि ये जो amniotic fluid level है वो maintain रहे. अब ये इतना important क्यों है? ये इसीलिए important है because जब आपकी delivery नजदीक आती है, जब when you reach the 38th, 39th week, amniotic fluid levels automatically कम होते हैं. They start reducing. When they start reducing, your brain will get the signal that, okay, the body is ready. Labor needs to start, which is what the whole idea is. That you need to ensure that you have adequate water so that amniotic fluid levels don't drop before full term. So before 37 weeks, your level of water should remain the same. I would recommend 8 to 10 glasses for a sedentary lifestyle. मतलब जो लोग ऑफिस में काम करते हैं, जो ज्यादा बाहर नहीं जाते, जो ज्यादा एक्सरसाइज नहीं करते, जनरली उनका बैठने का काम होता है। अगर आप कोई एक्टिविटी ज्यादा करते हैं, अगर आप बाहर धूप में ज्यादा जाते हैं, if you are spending a lot of time outdoors, then you should increase 2 glasses of water. For every hour of exercise, you should have 2 glasses of water. So that's the general recommendation that we would give as far as water intake is concerned. And water, mind you, it means water. It does not mean juice and tang and aerated drinks. No, it means water. अब salt का भी नाम खराब है, जो हम salt खाने में डालते हैं, we think उससे blood pressure हो जाता है. Not true. Salt से blood pressure नहीं होता, पर अगर आप excess लेते हो तो वो अगर आपके hormones level में नहीं है तो it can cause you a problem. So salt को भी consume करना है. We need the sodium, but we should have it in moderation. We should have little. And the supplements are very important. The doctor has prescribed them. You should make sure that you consume your supplements as prescribed by the doctor, whether it is iron, calcium, folic acid, omega-3, whatever the doctor has recommended. Make sure that you take them. अब आते हैं दूसरी चीज पे. वी कॉल दिस प्रीनेटल एक्सरसाइज. अब यहाँ पर एक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट डिस्क्लेमर है दैट मेक आपको अपने डॉक्टर से चेक करना है. सब प्रेगनेंसीज नॉर्मल होती है. वी आर नॉट वरीड. हम ये नहीं बोलते दैट यू आर एबनॉर्मल, बट कभी कभी आपके कोई स्पेशल कंडीशन हो सकती है जिसकी वजह से आपको एक्सरसाइज मना किया जाए. तो इसीलिए यू शुड ऑलवेज आस्क योर डॉक्टर. एंड हमारी रिकमेंडेशन तो हमेशा यही रहेगी that you should ask your doctor at every visit. Don't make it like this, I got permission in the 4th month, now I am going to be okay for the next 6 months to exercise. Every month when you go to the doctor, you should get the permission again and again and again. It is for your safety, it is for the safety of your baby, it is for the safety of your pregnancy. अब एक्सरसाइज के बहुत सारे बेनिफिट्स हैं. ऑफ कोर्स आपको लेबर के लिए प्रिपेयर करता है, आपके एक्स एंड पेन्स भी रिड्यूस करता है, आपको रिलैक्स करवाता है, आपको अच्छी नींद आती है. ऑल दीज आर डेफिनेट बेनिफिट्स. सो हम क्या कर सकते हैं? व्हाट कैन वी डू इफ वी डोंट नो व्हाट टू डू? द बेस्ट एंड द सेफेस्ट एक्सरसाइज इज वॉकिंग. वॉकिंग के लिए यू डोंट नीड एनी सुपरविजन. एंड वॉकिंग में होता यह है, सी लुक एट दिस, दिस इज योर पेल्विस. You imagine this is one leg, this is the second leg. जब आप walk करते हो, then your pelvis is moving like this. This is the movement that the pelvis is providing. So you are actually making this pelvis more and more flexible because of your walking activity. You should make sure you wear good shoes, carry water, आप अपने आप को hydrate रखिए, हल्का snack खा के जाइए, that is important. एंटीनेटल एक्सरसाइजेस भी अगर आप करना चाहते हैं तो वी वुड रेकमेंड कि आप अंडर गाइडेंस लीजिए. जस्ट कहीं पर भी कुछ भी स्टार्ट करना इज नॉट रिकमेंडेड. सो डॉक्टर से परमिशन तो ले ली, बट बिकॉज यू आर प्रेग्नेंट एंड बिकॉज इट्स अ स्पेशल कंडीशन, यू शुड बी प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर इट. एंड अगर कोई आपको गाइड करता है, आपको इंस्ट्रक्शंस देता है, आपको सुपरवाइज करता है, तो इट्स वेरी एसेंशियल. एंड नाउडेज, ऑफ कोर्स, बिकॉज ऑफ कोविड, we have all sorts of online classes. So video classes इतने सारे हो गए हैं that you don't even need to leave your house. You can find an instructor online and she can help you with your exercises in the safety and comfort of your own home at generally preferred timings. See, so for example, even we conduct online exercise classes now. Earlier, I used to say that I have access only to Bombay students. But now I have access to students from all over the world. Breathing exercises become very important. During pregnancy, आपकी जो lung capacity है वो बढ़ जाती है. And labor के time पे you need your lungs to help to breathe and push that baby out. So you have to make sure that during the entire pregnancy, you are doing your breathing exercises. अब ये कुछ सिंपल से बेनिफिट्स हैं, इसको मैंने और डिटेल में लिस्ट कर दिया है. जो डिस्कम्फर्ट्स है, जैसे बैक पेन है या लेग क्रैम्प्स वगैरह हैं, ये कम हो जाते हैं. आपका जो मूड और एनर्जी लेवल्स है, दिस इज गोइंग टू गेट इम्प्रूव्ड. आपको नींद अच्छी आएगी. आई मीन, आई हैव हैड लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स मदर्स विल टेल मी दैट why don't you take a class every day? Because the day I come for your class, I am sleeping very well. And I have to say, listen, you can do some walking on the other days. Yeah, you don't need to make me do exercise classes every day. But they really do recommend that if they exercise every day, they can sleep much better. Excess weight gain is prevented. Stamina and muscle strength gets improved. And labor is long, right? Labor ke time pe we would be asking you for certain positions, certain postures. There are so many important things that are required, but in those positions and postures, you need muscle strength, right? Pregnancy complications are also reduced. Mothers who exercise regularly tend to have less incidence of hypertension, diabetes, or even thyroid malfunction. Labor and delivery is best prepared, it becomes smoother, and eventual postpartum recovery is much faster. So, after delivery, your work actually begins, isn't it? You have to take care of the baby. So if you are healthy and you recover quickly, you will enjoy your baby much more. Here are some simple exercises for birth preparation. Again, I will recommend first, take permission from your doctor. Second, if possible, please do it under supervision. All right. The first exercise is squatting. So if you look at your pelvis, when you squat and a woman does this, see, this is what happens. So she's squatting down and how her pelvis opens wide. The second exercise is the butterfly position. So when a woman is sitting in the butterfly position, this is what she is doing. So you can see the top of her pelvis widens and it makes the entire opening a little bit more flexible for when the baby wants to pass through. The third exercise is leg raises. The woman is lying on her side. When she does her leg raises, this is how her pelvis is moving. So it is improving the flexibility for her pelvis in this area also. The fourth exercise on the bottom is Kegels. These are your pelvic floor muscles. These are your vaginal muscles. So you need to squeeze and release as if you are stopping the flow of urine. So it's a squeeze and a release. Breathing is normal and your abdominal muscles have to remain completely normal. So it's squeeze and release, squeeze and release. These muscles actually do the job of pushing the baby out in the second stage of labor. So ये जो muscles हैं उनको हमको tone करना बहुत जरूरी है because अगर आप के muscles are toned then आपको tears जो होते हैं जिसकी वजह से stitches आते हैं vaginal delivery में इसके chances कम हो जाते हैं. So 4th month से ही आप ये Kegels regularly करना शुरू कर दीजिए. And last exercise is deep breathing. अब deep breathing, as I already told you, इससे आपकी lung capacity बढ़ जाती है, but इससे ज़्यादा आपके abdominal muscles को भी strength मिलती है. Now abdominal muscles हम और तो कुछ नहीं करा सकते. I can't tell you do crunches, do sit-ups. I can't make you do that, right? Because you're pregnant. But I can make you do deep breathing because in second stage of labor, there are, along with the uterine contractions, your abdominal muscle strength is important to push that baby out. अब हम बात करते हैं एक और चीज की which is going to impact your baby's delivery, your type of delivery. So ये कुछ positions हैं जो होते हैं in terms of baby. And 9th month में baby takes the position for the delivery. So vertex या cephalic, जिसको हम बोलते हैं, that is your head down position, where the baby is in the pelvis, head down. So this is called your vertex or cephalic position. अगर आप अपने ultrasounds देखते हैं, तो you will be able to see this is mentioned that the baby is in a vertex or a cephalic presentation. The second is a breech presentation. Now in a breech presentation, the baby is presenting either legs or buttocks first in the pelvis. And ये भी आपके ultrasound पे mentioned होता है. एक और presentation होती है which is head down. So इसमें vertex or cephalic is there, but it is a brow presentation. अब now what do we mean by brow presentation? The baby is head down, but the baby is showing the face to the pelvis. This is what the baby has done, right? The baby is showing the face to the pelvis. And this is called a brow presentation. The fourth is a transverse lie. जब हम transverse lie बोलते हैं, तो we have the baby in a position like this, where the baby is horizontal. And then the last position is your posterior position. Now, when I'm saying posterior, it means the baby's back is to the mother's back, right? So, इसको बोलते हैं posterior position. I mean, all these presentations, vertex and cephalic is the best because to deliver the baby, the head will come out. When the head comes out, now we have enough time to deliver the shoulders. Slowly the baby can turn. One shoulder is delivered. The second shoulder is delivered. And then the entire baby slips out. If this baby was in a breech presentation, what would happen? The legs or buttocks will come out. Now the umbilical cord comes out and the baby's arms can get stuck. So this can result in an emergency situation, and sometimes we can even lose the baby. So for a breech presentation, a lot of times doctors will not recommend a vaginal birth. Now what happens in a brow presentation? The baby is presenting with the head in the face into the pelvis. Every time there is a uterine contraction, this is the pressure that is happening. This is where the push is happening. So it puts a lot of pressure on the neck of the baby, and this also will cause fetal distress, which will result in a cesarean birth. So ये जब labor start होता है, the doctor can check and will ascertain what has to be done. So sometimes when it's an emergency C-section or last minute C-section, it could be because of that. ये होगी आपकी transverse presentation. अब this baby if it does not turn, अगर ये नहीं move करते हैं, तो ये भी एक surgical birth हो जाती है. So we have to be careful with these kind of presentations because this is not going to fit through the pelvis at all. And the posterior baby, when it is a posterior baby, the baby has to first turn. All babies are born like this. No baby comes out like this. So we have all babies born like this, and इसकी वजह से आपका जो लेबर है वो थोड़ा सा लॉन्ग हो जाता है. अब आपको क्या ध्यान रखना है? जब भी when you go to the doctors for your checkup, आप डॉक्टर से चेक करवा लीजिए कि बेबी का पोजीशन क्या है. अगर बेबी का पोजीशन फेवरेबल नहीं है तो इट इज पॉसिबल कि आप कुछ एक्सरसाइज, कुछ पोस्चर्स, some positions that you can try which are safe, and you can get the baby to get into a more favorable position. So this is something that can be checked with the doctor. Ideally by around week 32 you should have your baby in a vertex, cephalic or head down position. ये हो गए आपके, मैंने आपको पिक्चर्स दिखा दिए हैं जो मैंने आपको फिजिकली भी दिखाया. With my pelvis and my doll, I am showing you in pictorial form as well. अब लेबर के बारे में कुछ misconceptions है जो मतलब कोई बताता नहीं है. No one tells you this about labor, so it becomes like a shock, right? पहली चीज, water bag जो है आपकी amniotic sac may or may not break before the onset of labor. कई बार I've heard mothers say this. Oh, I'm getting contractions, but there's no leaking of water, so I'm not in labor. That's not true, right? कई बार ऐसा होता है कि contractions start, but the water bag does not break. And कई बार ऐसा होता है the water bag breaks, but contractions don't start. So ये दोनों चीजें काफी possible है, and you have to be prepared for it. कई बार the water bag may break as a gush, जो movies में दिखाते हैं, जो फिल्मों में दिखाते हैं, but many times it is also a trickle. So you feel dampness and you feel constant dampness. So be prepared, be alert. Why am I worried about the water bag? Because the water bag is your baby's sterile environment. अगर आपको ध्यान नहीं गया and you reach the hospital after 20 hours or 24 hours of the water bag breaking, baby को infection हो सकता है and the doctor will want to deliver the baby ASAP. So you should be alert. If your water bag breaks, you should go to the doctor immediately. Light bleeding, मतलब जैसे start of the period या थोड़ा pinkish brownish discharge with mucus is normal. But if you get bright red bleeding and a lot of bleeding, then you should immediately go to the doctor. कई बार multiple bowel movements होते हैं. You feel कि मुझे bathroom बार-बार जाना है, and this is completely normal. लेकिन just because क्या होता है, we are at home and many times बहुत myths होते हैं. mothers हमको उल्टी पुल्टी चीजें खिला देते हैं, जैसे castor oil है या छुआरे हैं. We keep getting those things just before labor. So these can also cause bowel movements and you should avoid these things. Labor can make you feel कि आप constipated हो. It feels like आपके अंदर कुछ बहुत ही बड़ा है जो अटका हुआ है and you want to just push it out, but it is not coming out. So that's the kind of feeling that you can experience. Labor कई दिनों तक भी चल सकता है. Normally people feel that contraction शुरू हुए and we are going to deliver. It doesn't work like that. There are many times that I've had women who come to class and they tell me I went for a doctor's visit yesterday. I'm feeling little, but not feeling anything. दोनों ही situations बताते हैं. But the doctor has said my cervix has started opening. That means their labor has actually started and they just have to wait. But they can continue doing normal activity. Sometimes it can last like this for days also, right? ये भी हो सकता है, it is possible कि labor start भी कर सकता है. So कई बार it starts, we go to the hospital, it stops, and nothing is happening. So then they send you home, and then again it starts. So this is something which is natural, normal, and nothing that you should worry about. It happens with everybody. You can't be perfect on everything. लेबर के कुछ myths भी हैं, right? काफी सारे लोग बोलते हैं कि labor is really long. Yes, that is true, but labor can also be short. And your length है labor की, कि it depends on how much time you feel the pain. For some women, the early part of labor can actually be pain-free. They might be very relaxed, like those mothers. I had one mother, एक बार मुझे एक mother का call आया who said that she had just visited a doctor and she was 1 centimeter dilated, and the doctor said that she is in labor. And then she got scared and she said, I want to do your labor class. So I said, okay, if you are still pregnant tomorrow morning, then we'll meet and we'll do the class. This was not the day and age of online classes. Otherwise, I would have told her, come on, let's come online right now and do your labor class for you. Okay. So all of labor is not painful. Early labor can be very calm and very relaxing also. There is a myth which says that agar the delivery happens in the 8th month, it is dangerous for the baby. And 9th month is okay for the baby. 7th month is also okay for the baby. Actually, what happens in the 8th month is that the baby is taking position, right? ये जो baby है आपका during pregnancy, it is completely moving, rotating, revolving, somersaulting, doing all of this inside your tummy. But 8th month, when the baby is big, the baby cannot find any other comfortable space. So the baby starts looking for that little corner where the baby can fit his or her head. And in the 8th month, if the mother relaxes a little, you can do all your activities, but take it easy also. Listen to your body. The baby will move more. When the baby moves more, the baby will get into the right position better. Last but not the least is having ghee. It is not going to make your labor more smooth, and it is not going to make your labor short. It will just make you fat, and it will also ensure that you are making the whole delivery process much slower. Plus, you will also get loose motions because ghee can cause that. If you have 2-3 spoons of ghee and hot milk every night, you will definitely have multiple bowel movements just because of that. Ab aate hain, we'll talk about stress. So we are going to think about my favorite statement about everything, that the more relaxed you are, the more faster you'll be able to do things, whether it is your pregnancy, whether it is your labor, whether it is your breastfeeding, whether it is a parenting thing. You have to be stress-free. So you have to keep away from all of these things. You know, your pregnancy worries, your labor and birth fears. Think about it like this, right? अब आप तो pregnant हो गए, the baby is inside. By hook or by crook, वो baby को बाहर आना ही है. The baby has to come out. So why worry? And labor is short, 24-48 hours maximum. After that, so you are going to have a beautiful baby. Plus, your doctor is going to be there, right? I have many fathers who worry sometimes that, oh my God, will I even reach the hospital on time? What will happen if I don't reach on time? What if there's traffic? What if there? So don't worry about all of these things. Kai baar you have family concerns, right? Or you have work pressures. Because things are not comfortable, you are not comfortable in your environment, you're worried that your job is going to suffer. So all of these things will impact. So you have to understand that whatever you're feeling, the baby is feeling, your body is feeling, and your body will react. So even if you eat healthy and you exercise, but if you're constantly worried and stressed out, all the benefit will be lost. So you have to make sure that you relaxation, meditation, positive thinking, thoda yoga, include this in your daily routine on a regular basis. अब आते हैं हम आपके डॉक्टर्स पे. ये आपकी मेडिकल टीम है. आपकी ये मेडिकल टीम जो है, आपके गायनेक्स हैं, आपके एनेस्थेटिस्ट हैं या फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट हैं, न्यूट्रिशनिस्ट हैं, हम लोग जैसे प्रेगनेंसी काउंसलर्स हैं. you should always be open and frank. You should not hide anything, right? Because the way we can help you is only agar aap humko sab bataoge. If you don't tell us certain things, then we are not giving you complete advice. So it is important कि आप open और frank conversations करिए. Questions पूछिए. It's okay. Sometimes, you know, we think as that, oh, the doctor will think I'm stupid. It is not like that. The doctor is not going to think that you're stupid. The doctor might look a little irritated if you keep asking questions, but that doesn't mean the doctor is thinking that you're stupid. You should ask questions because usse you will understand your care. Many times I have mothers will come back with a prescription and say the doctor asked me to take this medicine. Why? What is this medicine for? So I like, why didn't you ask the doctor this question? Because जब doctor आपको वहां पर prescription लिख के दे रहे थे, तो you should understand कि why has this been given to you? What is the relevance for you, for your body? If you understand that, only then you will be able to take that additional care. Just taking that medicine is not the solution. There must be some other care also that is required. But if you don't ask, your doctor is busy, your doctor has so many medical emergencies to take care of, they will assume you know. And then they will not give you that additional information. So ask questions. It's perfectly all right to be a little bit of a pain and ask questions. It's worth it. And then when you have all the information, think, right? Make your decisions. Think about the risks. Think about the alternatives. See, as women, हम लोग अपनी birth को, my son is 20 years old, but I can still give the whole birth story as if it happened yesterday. Because it's something which is so important to us. It is something which is a part of our soul. It's something which lives with us. So keep that in mind, you know, that when you're making the decisions, you are comfortable with the decisions, you have all the answers with you, and then you're making the decisions. So think of the risks, alternatives, so many questions you can ask, you know, why am I being induced? Why do I need an episiotomy? What are the benefits of an epidural? You can ask all these questions and you can evaluate उसके risks, alternatives, benefits, pros, cons. ये सारा काम आपका है, right? तो ये आप आपके husband ये साथ में decisions अगर लेंगे तो it will be very very helpful and beneficial to you. यहाँ पर एक बहुत ही simple सा cute सा picture है of a baby जो हम बोलते हैं कि it is a new beginning, right? इतना cute सा baby है and हम अपने delivery day को ऐसे देखते हैं जैसे oh my god it's horrors, right? So that is something which we should not do. We should look at birth as something which is positive. It's a new beginning. You are going to have a new baby. You are going to become a new parent. You are bringing a new life into this world. You are going to become a new family. There is so much newness, right? So welcome it with positivity. Make sure कि आप उसको अपना delightful day बनाते हैं. You don't make it your dreadful day. Right? It's not something to be looked forward to with dread. It is something which brings you delight. So welcome your birth, welcome your labor, welcome your baby with a lot of positivity.
When is a parent born? When your world changes in a moment. Nani? Or when the moment is celebrated by all. When you start learning again, or with a new role. Is it your child's first breath? Or is it just a feeling? Parents are born when they fulfill a responsibility.
Your child's umbilical cord blood can provide protection from 80 life-threatening diseases. Keep it safe with Asia's largest stem cell bank. Cord Life. One chance, one choice.
And आज के लिए आपके लिए एक बहुत ही special surprise है. So all the participants जो इस webinar में हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं from start to finish, and I think काफी सारे लोग हमारे साथ स्टार्ट टू फिनिश इस वेबिनार में रहे हैं. थैंक यू सो मच. आपने हमको इतना समय दिया एंड आई होप आई वाज हेल्पफुल. So here's a special gift for you. It's a flat 25% discount voucher जो लाइफ एंड परस्यूट्स और कॉर्ड लाइफ की तरफ से आपके लिए लाया गया है. ये जो वाउचर है इट इज फॉर नेचुरल ऑर्गेनिक प्रोडक्ट्स एंड ये मदर एंड बेबी रेंज है. सो इसमें मसाज ऑयल्स है या बॉडी वॉश है, बेबी बाथ वॉश है, ये सारी चीजें आई थिंक यू कैन रियली गो शॉपिंग. वैसे भी पैंडेमिक है, so you are going to want to do some online shopping and this is something which can be really helpful. तो जब कॉर्ड लाइफ की टीम आपके साथ कांटेक्ट करेगी इस सेशन के बाद आफ्टर 48 आवर्स, अप्रोक्सीमेटली 48 to 72 आवर्स में आपको इस सेशन की रिकॉर्डिंग प्लस ये वाउचर दिया जाएगा. And at that time, the recommendation that I would suggest is कि अगर आप स्टेम सेल बैंकिंग के बारे में प्रेजेंटेशन लेना चाहते हैं, जैसे राकेश ने आपको कन्वे किया that it is completely free of cost, आप कम से कम प्रेजेंटेशन ले लीजिए, so that will help to give you an idea on what it is and again you can think and make your choices accordingly. Abhi we are open to questions. I will open the question box and I will start reading your questions. I hope आप मुझसे बहुत सारे questions पूछेंगे. राकेश भी हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं, तो अगर आपके पास स्टेम सेल्स के बारे में कुछ questions हो आप वो भी पूछ सकते हैं. I'll read it out for him and he will be able to answer the questions for you. मेरे पर्सनल कोऑर्डिनेट्स जैसे फेसबुक, इंस्टाग्राम, वेबसाइट, यूट्यूब चैनल, ये सारा कुछ मैंने स्क्रीन पे डाल दिया है. I would love for you to be part of my community. Please join us. कॉर्ड लाइफ के कॉन्टैक्ट डिटेल्स, उनका कॉलिंग नंबर, व्हाट्सएप नंबर, टोल फ्री नंबर एंड SMS नंबर, ये भी मैंने स्क्रीन पे लिख लिया है. तो पेपर पेन लेके नोट कर लीजिए या स्क्रीनशॉट ही ले लीजिए. बड़े इंपॉर्टेंट नंबर्स हैं. दे विल बी वेरी वेरी हेल्पफुल फॉर यू. सो वी आर ओवर टू द क्वेश्चंस एंड वी होप के वी हैव बीन हेल्पफुल. आपके फीडबैक के लिए भी हम बेसब्री से इंतजार करेंगे. वी वुड लव टू गेट योर फीडबैक and I'll open up to questions now.
Yes, before taking a question, Sonali ma'am.
Yes, ji boliye.
Should I? Before opening for a question and answer session, I would like to request everyone that this is your basic right to have an education about stem cells at least. You don't have to take it, but you have to have of course, education is very mandatory for you. So this is the only time when you can educate and make a proper decision about the things. So this is my humble request. At least go for a presentation.
Okay, all right. So my first question is from a mother who's saying that I have the baby has a cord around the neck. In this case, can I have a normal delivery and will there be any complication? Actually, ma'am, जो cord होता है around the neck, during the pregnancy, there is no problem because ये जो नाभि होती है तो cord is very long. तो वो बेबी को यहाँ से अटैच होती है और मदर को प्लेसेंटा से अटैच होती है. तो जब बेबी अंदर मूव करता है, घूमता है, रोटेट करता है, समरसॉल्ट करता है, तो ये कॉर्ड ऑटोमेटिकली बेबी के अराउंड रैप होती है और फिर अनरैप भी हो जाती है. तो ये काफी प्रेगनेंसी के टाइम पे इट इज नॉर्मल. लेकिन जब डिलीवरी का समय आता है और अगर अल्ट्रासाउंड में ये दिखाया गया है कि देयर इज अ कॉर्ड अराउंड द नेक, so what can happen is that the doctor will watch कि लेबर के टाइम पे बेबी के हार्ट रेट पे कोई प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं आ रही. अगर बेबी की हार्ट रेट नॉर्मल है तो देयर इज नो कॉम्प्लिकेशन. If the baby's heart rate is fluctuating, then the doctor might think that the baby is not getting enough oxygen. और ये डिसीजन लेबर के दौरान ही लिया जाता है. It cannot be decided in advance. कॉर्ड बहुत तरीके से होती है. एक तो होता है सिंगल लूप. तो अगर एक ही लूप है तो वो जनरली लूज रहता है एंड इट डजंट क्रिएट अ प्रॉब्लम. कई बार अल्ट्रासाउंड में लिख के आ जाता है कि इट्स अ डबल लूप अराउंड द नेक. जब डबल लूप होता है सो देन इट कैन बी अ चैलेंज फॉर द डिलीवरी. कई बार कॉर्ड में नॉट्स होते हैं. तो अगर बेबी ने रोटेट करते समय नॉट बना दिया कॉर्ड में, जो हो सकता है, so then again it can create some issues, but ये सब लेबर के टाइम पर ही पता लगेगा. आपको प्रेगनेंसी में कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगी. एंड जहां तक कॉर्ड का सवाल है, हम इसको किसी तरह इन्फ्लुएंस नहीं कर सकते. जैसे बेबी की पोजीशन को मैं एक्सरसाइजेस आपको सिखा सकती हूँ, बट फॉर द कॉर्ड आई डोंट हैव एनी एक्सरसाइजेस एंड इट इज नॉट योर फॉल्ट. कई बार ऐसा होता है, मदर्स फील कि हम हाथ ऊपर करके सोते हैं तो बेबी को कॉर्ड हो जाएगा. ऑल दोज आर मिथ्स. आपको इसके बारे में चिंता करने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है. आप और मैं, कोई भी कॉर्ड को इन्फ्लुएंस नहीं कर सकता ड्यूरिंग द प्रेगनेंसी. Okay. Then I have another question who's saying that she has dragging pain and how long it lasts. But ma'am, I'm sorry, I think you've already also left the webinar. तो dragging pain का मुझे मतलब समझ में नहीं आया. कहाँ पर पेन हो रहा है? I would love to answer your question, but I do not understand your question, so I will have to skip this one. Okay. So I have a mother who is asking, I am in the week 31. When can I start exercises to support normal delivery? You can start your exercises at any time, right? Generally, doctors give the go ahead and green signal आपके second trimester में, once you have crossed 12th week. So then they tell you, okay, now you can start some light exercises. You can start even in the third trimester where you are right now. There is no problem. You don't need to get stressed about it. It's just that आपको start करने में थोड़ा सा time लगेगा. In the sense कि आप शुरू में उतने काउंट शायद नहीं कर पाएंगे, आपकी स्टेमिना नहीं डेवलप्ड है, आपने पिछले 31 वीक से कुछ नहीं किया है, so थोड़ा वक्त लगेगा. बट जितना भी आप कर पाओगे, अगर आपको डॉक्टर ने परमिशन दिया है, it will definitely help you. So please start. I have a mother who says that she is in week 35 and her baby is in a transverse position. Is it possible to have the baby in a head down position? Can you recommend some exercises to help? For this mother, I would recommend first you find out on which side your baby's head is, and then uske baad what you need to do is you need to start doing lunges. So when you do lunges, especially on the opposite side, it can help the baby to change position from transverse to vertex. My next mother says that she is 31 weeks pregnant and she feels that there's a lump inside her throat. She gets frequent burps. What to eat? The doctor has said it's acid reflux and I'm tired of this. Okay. It's like a choking feeling. I'm taking medication, but still I'm not feeling it's going away. Is it normal and does this go away? Well, yes. So acidity during pregnancy is very normal. It's because of hormones. It's because आपके baby का जो weight है, it's so much more. It is pushing against the stomach and the stomach acids are pushing up against into the food pipe. And that is why you're feeling this burning lump-like sensation and burping sensation in your body. What you should do, and I would recommend this, is that you should also see a dietitian so that you can get the right diet, because that can make a lot of difference. Quick suggestions from my end would be that eat small meals, don't eat a lot, make sure that you don't go hungry, eat every 2.5 hours so that your stomach is never empty, and also eat a small carbohydrate, a dry carbohydrate with every meal, even if with a glass of water. So if you're having water, I would recommend you have like a half a cracker or a small piece of khakra, and then you have your glass of water. That will help you a lot with your acidity. Try it out. Okay. How to identify that the water bag has broken? So जो water bag होती है ma'am, it breaks suddenly. It's not like with planning. It won't give you any pre-warning. It's like a होली का balloon. जब उसपे prick लग जाता है तो वो फूट जाता है. That is what is the water bag, right? अब आपको इसको आइडेंटिफाई कैसे करना है? नॉर्मली क्या होता है कि ड्यूरिंग प्रेगनेंसी कभी कभी यूरिन लीक होती है, वैजिनल डिस्चार्ज होता है, तो थोड़ा डैम्प फीलिंग रहता है. सो इफ यू फील दैट यू आर फीलिंग डैम्प, you should immediately wipe yourself and change your undergarments, and then you wait in another 10 minutes. If you're damp again, once again wipe yourself and change your undergarment, and if you find that you're damp again, then your water bag has opened and you should immediately inform the doctor. वी हैव अ मदर जो बोल रही है कि उसको सर्विक्स में स्टिचेस हैं, इसको हम सर्कलाज बोलते हैं, तो मैं एक्सरसाइज कर सकती हूँ या नहीं? नहीं मैम, अगर आपको सर्विक्स में स्टिचेस हैं तो आपको डॉक्टर ने एक्सरसाइजेस मना किए होंगे। इस कंडीशन में होता यह है कि आपका सर्विक्स वक्त से पहले खुलना चाहता है, तो इसीलिए डॉक्टर आपको जितना हो सके बेड रेस्ट पे रखेंगे। तो ये आप डॉक्टर से इंस्ट्रक्शंस प्लीज फॉलो कर दीजिए। In which week labor is induced if pregnancy labor pains have not started? Ideally, doctors will wait till the 40th week if the pregnancy conditions are normal. अगर वो लेबर नहीं स्टार्ट हुआ है और सारा कुछ नॉर्मल है, so doctors might wait for a few days even beyond 40 weeks. But ये individual conditions पे dependent है. It is not dependent on a standard norm, but roughly 40 weeks is what you should expect. My in-laws are very conservative and they have misconceptions about pregnancy, especially about the recent eclipses. I found it very stressful and intimidating to follow all that, as I did not find any logic. I had been told not to eat or drink during eclipse and lie only in supine position, also not to go to the washroom and not to speak. Is there any logic for it? And does the eclipse really affect the unborn child? So it's a myth. There is no logic. Eclipse is a natural phenomena. It happens all over the world. It's not going to affect only the Indian babies. It would affect even the American baby, the European baby, and etc. I really wouldn't suggest you follow these things. Some of the things that you were asked to do were wrong. And lying in a supine position for a long duration is harmful. It actually आपके बेबी को जो ऑक्सीजन फ्लो है वो कम हो जाता है, and you should not be lying on your back for a long duration. Not going to the bathroom, not using the washroom to urinate. If it's a long duration, it can cause bladder infections. So you might end up with urinary infections. Not being able to eat or drink, it can make your sugar levels fluctuate. It can also result in preterm contractions if you get dehydrated. So there were a lot of dangerous things that were suggested. It's okay to follow the elders sometimes, but if it is not harmful, right? So if they tell you don't go out, sit at home, that's okay. That's fine, right? Don't use a scissor, don't use a knife. Okay, no problem. We can accept that. And if it's a very short eclipse, it's like going to be there for 30 minutes or whatever. Then if they tell you, okay, you don't go to the bathroom or don't eat or drink, it's okay. But this eclipse was long. In India, its effect was for 4 hours, but worldwide it was longer. So it really depends, on all these things. So I would really strongly suggest that please don't get worried about these myths. It doesn't cause any harm to your unborn child. What is the best age to get pregnant? Till what age is there any chances for normal pregnancy? So ideally, we would recommend that a woman should be 25 years and above for being healthy, because her body is fully matured and her hormone levels are also at a good level of maturity. And by the time she's 35, she should probably be done with her pregnancies. After 35 also, it is possible to get pregnant, to have a normal pregnancy and a normal delivery, but the risk is a little more. So it is highly recommended that you conceive and deliver between the age of 25 to 35. Is it okay and safe for the couple to have soft intercourse during pregnancy? How can it affect? So first and foremost, your doctor should give you permission for intercourse. Because it depends if your pregnancy is normal or not. When you say soft intercourse, I am assuming it means without jerks, without wild passion, and that's fine. As long as there's no pressure on the abdomen, that is what you have to follow. If either it's a woman on top or for the man, it has to be in the doggy style, or it can be a side lying position, but it has to be gentle movements. It does not affect the baby. The baby doesn't even come to know. So even if the woman has an orgasm, it doesn't matter. It's perfectly okay. But what is important is that your pregnancy health should be fine and you should not have any complications. I am 25 weeks pregnant. I have gained only 3 to 3.5 kilos. Is it normal? Yes, it is absolutely normal. Weight gain during pregnancy ranges between 8 to 12 kilos in the 9 months. In the first half of pregnancy, you can gain as little as 2 kilos, which is from 0 to 20 weeks. If you gain as little as 2 kilos, it's considered to be okay. What is important is that your pregnancy should have started at a healthy weight and BMI. So if you were overweight, you can expect to gain lesser. If you were underweight, you can expect to gain faster and more. Can you talk about the COVID vaccine and pregnancy, please? So COVID vaccine in India, we have two options right now. We have Covishield and we have Covaxin, and with Sputnik around the corner. But all three have not been recommended for pregnancy. Even the vaccines which are available in the US, like Pfizer and Moderna, even though they have done some trials on pregnant mothers, it is not something which has long-term research. So we don't know, whether there is actually going to be any effect on the baby later. So therefore, a lot of recommendations are going, at least in India, that during pregnancy, you should not take the vaccine. However, it has been approved now for breastfeeding mothers. So once you deliver and you are about 2 months postpartum, then you can go ahead and get vaccinated for the COVID-19 with either of the shots which are available right now, either Covaxin or Covishield or Sputnik, because in another 2 months, Sputnik will also be very easily available to the Indian market. I am 34 weeks pregnant. I have read a lot about not sleeping on your back, but at times I feel more comfortable that way and I end up waking up on my back. Please suggest if it's a cause of concern. So ma'am, basically it's okay. You should not sleep on your back for a long duration. But if you find yourself comfortable and you find yourself on your back in your sleep, it's nothing to be alarmed about because it means you are comfortable, right? And when I say you're comfortable, it means you don't feel breathless. That means the oxygen levels to the baby are also being maintained. So you don't have to worry. You can relax and don't stress yourself out if you find yourself on your back in the morning. I am in the 37th week now and I have bowel pain. Is it normal? No. Pain in the bowels, bladder is not normal. If you are having pain and discomfort while passing bowels, you should make sure that you get yourself checked by the doctor. There could be some kind of an infection. So I'm assuming this is a transverse baby with the head on the left side. So if you have the head on the left side like this, what you need to do is you need to do more of the lunges on the opposite side. So when you are lunging, you will be kind of, lunging this leg out. So when you lunge this leg out, the chances of the baby's head coming into the pelvis become better. For cervical stitches, मैं exercise कर सकती हूँ. ये मैं सवाल answer कर चुकी हूँ. आप नहीं कर सकते हैं मैम. How to have normal delivery pains? नॉर्मल डिलीवरी के जो पेन्स होते हैं वो अपने आप ही स्टार्ट हो जाते हैं. उसको आपको कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है. If your body is healthy, if your baby is developed properly, then the labor pains will start on its own. You don't have to be doing anything about it. I've been asked to start exercising for normal delivery, but I feel so tired throughout. And when I walk also, I get tired and feel short of breath. I'm 34 weeks pregnant. So tiredness, shortness of breath, these are all very common pregnancy-related symptoms. You don't need to worry about it. You can do short bouts of exercise, 15 minutes at a time. 15 मिनट आप वॉक करके फिर आप बैठ सकते हैं और फिर 15 मिनट वॉक करके बैठ सकते हैं, या आप दिन में 2-3 बार जा सकते हैं नीचे. कोशिश करके सुबह सुबह कर लीजिए अपनी एक्सरसाइज, ताकि आपको दिन भर की थकावट के साथ फिर शाम को या रात में हम कोशिश करते हैं करने की, that can be avoided. I am feeling extremely sleepy and tired, lack of appetite in my 32nd week. Blood tests are normal. It's a ma'am, feeling sleepy, tired, lethargic is very normal during pregnancy. So don't worry about it. Just keep a positive frame of mind. You will be able to cope with the labor pains. 25 weeks pregnant, full days meal plan. Ma'am, as this is not a diet related webinar, we have not gone into detail into diet. You can stay in touch with the Cod Life team, and as and when they organize the webinars on different topics, you can make sure that you attend them so that you get all the information that you are requiring. Can an IVF pregnancy have a normal delivery if all parameters are fine? Yes, it is possible. Please check in with your doctor. Some doctors consider it a precious pregnancy and may suggest a cesarean section to avoid any complications. But that's a question that you'll have to ask your doctor, but it is possible. What are the chances of a natural birth if one is overweight? I was overweight before pregnancy, currently at 34th week with no gestational diabetes or any complications. Ma'am, overweight is a big range, you know, because suppose if your normal weight was supposed to be around 60 and you are 65, 67, 68, this is called overweight. If you are more than 10, 12 kilos overweight, then you could be on the side of obese. It is still possible. It is not impossible. So I would suggest that you kind of make yourself active, you know, try to eat healthy and then give it your best possible shot. I'm in the 35th week. My baby is in posterior position. Is it possible for normal delivery? Yes. Posterior position is possible because what happens is the baby does the turn on its own. But there are still some exercises to turn a posterior baby. You can please subscribe to my YouTube channel. We have a lot of videos of exercises there also. So you can get some tips from there. How much weight gain happens after 33rd week? It's like there's no way to guess that. It also depends on how much weight gain has happened before this, because if you gain very little, sometimes the body will catch up. Sometimes if you gained a lot in the first part of pregnancy, the body will slow down. How to count baby's movements? The best way to count baby's movements is when you are resting after a meal, and you should get about 10 kicks or movements within 1 hour. That's the general count. What care should the mother take after C-section? Ma'am, again, please stay in touch with the Cod Life team for other sessions because this is not part of our topic today. Can I have a normal delivery without exercise? Yes, I will definitely say yes. The main component is making sure that your mind is healthy. If your mind is positive, you can achieve anything. So keep that in mind. But if exercise is possible, it's an additional benefit. You must do it. Yes, it is safe to sleep on your right side. Baby related questions, newborn related questions, breastfeeding related questions, we will keep for another webinar. Increased WBC count, ma'am, it really depends on how much it is increased. But yes, a little increment in a WBC count is normal because the pregnancy itself is like a foreign body. So the body kind of tries to create the soldiers to fight it, and so WBC will go up. Bleeding during stool pass can affect normal birth. No, bleeding during passing stools does not affect a normal delivery, but it does mean that you're constipated. So you should, or you have piles or hemorrhoids, you should get it treated. How to know that I have fake pain and what kind of infection will I have if I have bowel pain? Is it likely to, is it risky? No, it's not risky for the baby, but it is a problem for you because you'll have to take antibiotics. So the doctor will have to monitor that for you. I have been put on dietary restrictions by my mother-in-law, like not to eat prawns, chicken, shells, mangoes, as she says that it is heat and will harm the baby. Is it true? So prawns and shellfish, these can carry an infection which can be harmful to the pregnancy. And chicken is fine. You can have lean meat. There is no problem. It's not a heaty food per se. You can have mangoes as well, but you should have 1 mango a day as long as you don't have gestational diabetes. The name of the YouTube channel is on the screen. My screen share is on. Thank you for the kind words. I'm really happy that you're enjoying the conversation. I'm 8 months pregnant. I'm doing night shift. Does it impact my pregnancy? No, not at all. For you, night is day and day is night. So the pregnancy doesn't really matter. It's fine. You can continue with your night shifts. I am 38 weeks and my baby is in cephalic presentation. Can I have a normal delivery? Cephalic means head down. So yes, it is very favorable for normal delivery. Does weight have any role in deciding whether normal delivery can be done or not? Yeah, if you're underweight, it could also mean that you have a very narrow pelvis. So you must check this with your doctor. Yes, the session is recorded. So, you know, when you are looking at any kind of blood tests and etc., I would recommend that you please discuss your blood reports with your doctor. And diet questions are not part of this webinar. So stay in touch with the Cord Life team. They will keep you updated when they have a diet related webinar. If the baby is low on weight, the baby can get signs of distress during labor, and that can result in a C-section. After delivery, chances of the baby needing the NICU are there. Also, risk of childhood related diseases like asthma, bronchitis, etc. are much higher. So therefore, it is recommended that you know, the baby's weight is not too low. During pregnancy, how long should the woman sit continuously? You know, it's fine. You have to listen to your body. You can don't overtire yourself. Don't exhaust yourself. So a 2.3 kgs baby at birth can easily be about a 2.8, 2.9. All right. So that's been a lot of questions. Thank you so much for asking all the questions. I would also love some feedback. So if you've been enjoying the session, please do share your feedback. And
excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am,
Also,
there are a few questions that I've placed on your WhatsApp.
yes, I'm just going to open those.
Thank you, ma'am.
So I have a few questions which has come in on a different channel. The first is, can you explain a little bit more in detail about stem cell banking? Rakesh, do you want to answer these?
Yes, I would like to answer.
Yes. So I'll read the question, you answer this.
Yeah, sure.
The first question, can you please explain a little bit more in detail about stem cell banking?
Look, although I have covered almost things which you need to be, you know, aware about, but entire presentation would take at least half an hour. But just to make you understand what the concept is, like, you know, there are many critical illness which cannot be treated by any medical alternative. So stem cell transplant, stem cell therapy, you must have heard of. This is the only alternative or one of the alternative we do have to treat such kind of disorder which is not treatable, whether it is life-threatening disorder or lifestyle disorder like blood cancers, like leukemia, thalassemia, plastic anemia, multiple myeloma, such kind of disorders. Or you can say there are lifestyle disorders which can be treated by only stem cells, or stem cells transplant cannot be, you know, opted or cannot be used by anyone. Like, there should be a proper genetic matching. Or genetic matching only happens that sample belongs to the same family. That's why we used to encourage people so that they go ahead with their own baby stem cells, and that particular stem cells not only beneficial for the baby, but it is going to benefit entire family. There are costs involved in that for a preservation, not in presentation, but those costs are, you know, very affordable. I guess even we do have an EMI options, like monthly EMI options are also available to opt for such kind of thing. And the entire presentation, we are going to make a call to you. Okay, you just give us a time so that you will have a proper presentation about it.
Okay. So I have the next question for you. Again, I think it's really related to the same thing. Why should I opt for stem cell banking? As Rakesh has suggested, that take the free presentation that is being offered. That will give you all the benefits, all the questions that you have. So then you can make a decision about why you should opt for it. Rakesh, there is one more question which says, is it that only the baby can be benefited by stem cells?
Yes, there are myths around that only baby can be benefited by this particular stem cell banking, but it is not, because genetic matching happens within the family. And in probability, if I talk about, we as a company, we are going to cover not only baby, but the siblings of baby, parents of baby, and grandparents of baby too. So that anybody in your family, in this particular generation, I'm talking about, till grandparents, anybody required any stem cell treatment for any critical illness, they can use that stem cell for a treatment. We do have alternatives also available within the agreement. That will let you know. Even that would be very appropriate to understand at an presentation. But of course, that stem cells is not only for the baby, for the entire family it is.
Okay. All right. So the next question is related to stem cell transplant. So the mother is asking that I've already, okay, I spend the money, I do the stem cell banking, but later on when the treatment has to be done, is that a very expensive affair?
Yes, it is very expensive affair. Stem cell transplant is not very common nowadays, but it is getting common. But just to facilitate our own customers, expecting parents who went ahead with the stem cell preservation, whenever you need that stem cell in future for a treatment, up to parents, you are going to be entitled with a particular medical insurance claim. That would be around 25 lakh rupees for separately cord blood and 20 lakh rupees of financial assistance for cord tissue. Yani you are going to have certain financial backups from Cord Life only, so that you don't have to worry about the transplant expenses whenever you are in need for a transplant. So we are there for that particular expenses. You don't have to worry about. We are going to cover everything now whenever you are going to have an agreement with us.
Okay, lovely. So I have a question here from a daddy, and he wants to know that if I have stem cells and if they don't match, or if it is not enough, then can other people's stem cells match for me?
Yes, there are chances that you can get a suitable HLA match, that is a genetic match, which is required, which is a eligibility criteria basically to go ahead with the transplant. That stem cells can be sourced by public repository available worldwide, because what we are talking about is the private banking, where you yourself preserve your baby stem cells for your own usage. But in our agreement, there are clauses which say that if your sample is not enough for a transplant, or there would be a genetic matching which is not appropriate for any of the family member in case. So in that scenario, we are committed to provide an alternate sample from the public repository within 14 working days. So again, we are protecting you 360 degree. We are not only dependent on a single unit of sample.
Okay, wonderful. That sounds reassuring. So there is one more question here. This parent wants to know that I have heard that there are hidden charges, like annual charges and etc. So hidden charges for tests and etc. Is that true?
No. Anything which you are paying to us at a time of registration, for at least 21 years, you don't have to pay anything to us. If you are going beyond that, like we do have a service of up to 75 years also, so might be possibilities after 21 years you have to pay certain service charges or storage fees. But as of now, till 21 years, you don't have to pay anything. Whatever you paid at our registration, that would be enough.
All right, lovely. So I think I am done with all the questions that I could see either in my WhatsApp or in on my question screen. Okay, so there's one more question which has come from a mother, that the quantity of cord blood that you guys store, is it enough for the treatment?
Yes, I have mentioned in that slide only, which I presented, like we have a technology. Look, we cannot assure what amount of blood we are going to collect. It's all depends on the nature of pregnancy and at time delivery, what blood we are going to collect. It would be standard. We are not having control on that. But what we are having a control to extract maximum number of stem cell out of it. For this, we do have a technology called as AXP2, which makes sure that maximum number of stem cell would be extracted. One, if in any scenario blood is like 40 or 50 ml, which is not very much appropriate, and count of stem cell extracted is not sufficient for a treatment, then again we are there to make additional sample available to make a sufficient amount of dose so that that patient who is in need of a transplant can avail that particular facility to go ahead with. And this is only about cord blood. One more thing is there, cord tissue, which can be multiplied as of now and can be used multiple times. There is no shortage of stem cells for cord tissue and even for cord blood. Just for your own education or you can awareness, we are conducting a trials for expansion of cord blood 2, which is in clinical trial phase 1. We have spent more than 6 crore rupees for this particular research only. So that expansion of cord blood should come as soon as possible, so that this particular question which you have raised, the quantity is going to play a vital role, of course plays a vital role, but if there would be expansion available, then that query is also going to be dissolved.
Wonderful, wonderful. That is lovely. I think you're getting a compliment from the parent that it's a great answer. So thank you. So in the interest of time, for all the parents whose questions, the last few questions that I could not answer verbally, I have put it in the typed answers. So please check up your answers over there as well. And we would love to get some feedback from you. And again, I'm gently reminding you that all the phone numbers are on the screen. So you can please make a note of all the details so that you can get a recording of the session, you can get your gift voucher, and you can also arrange to, book your presentation. So that is something which, you can make sure that you avail of. Any quick last minute questions? Also, even if you do not, are not able to type your feedback here, after the webinar also, you can definitely put your feedback and we would love to get your feedback. It's a great learning experience for us. Great. So Rakesh, I think we have covered all the questions. Everybody is quiet and silent, and I think all the mamas are also hungry and it's time for their lunch. So we should let them go. We should say thank you. Thank you so much for being such a lovely. Thank you for joining us this Saturday morning. Have a great weekend ahead. We are still in the middle of a raging pandemic, so stay safe. Practice your social distancing. Smile a lot and just be happy. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and all the very best to all expecting parents.
When is a parent born? When your world changes in a moment. Nani? Or when the moment is celebrated by all. When you start learning again. Or with a new rule. Is it your child's first breath? Or is it just a feeling? Parents are born when they fulfill a responsibility.
Your child's umbilical cord blood can provide protection from 80 life-threatening diseases. Keep it safe with Asia's largest stem cell bank, Cord Life. One chance, one choice.